Hello everyone, my name is Krish and today I will be talking about the deck which is very close to my heart, and as you can see from the mat it is Machinedramon. I've been playing Digimon for just over a year and a half now, and Machinedramon was the first ever deck I built. So I was very happy when it got support in EX09, which really helped the deck out. It sped up the deck and allowed it to contend in the meta. The deck list I'm going to be showing you today has helped me win a few locals at my local card shop, as well as come top 3 in Evo Cup 2. So, starting off with the level 6s, I'm going to begin with the latest addition to the deck, which is the newest Machinedramon from EX09. This Machinedramon is just a huge upgrade from the EX1 Machinedramon with better protection, so now you can't be bounced as well as a very strong when Digivolving on play and when attacking effect, where it tucks one cyborg from your hand or trash underneath and it gains the on play of that cyborg. It also has assembly, which lets you reduce the play cost by 6 by tucking in 4 different cyborgs with different names underneath it. That is the one downside of this Machinedramon though, the fact that the cyborgs have to have different names, so you can't run as many cyborgs with the same name as you could before. But regardless, it is still a very good addition to the deck, and I'm currently running 4 of this in my Machinedramon deck. I am still running one of the EX1 Machinedramon just cause it deals with the biggest problem with this deck, which is now it's weak to DP-. Just this card having DP- protection means it's still relevant, especially against puppets, which DP- is like hell. So running a 1-of in the deck is still good. I might increase this to 2 if puppets become more of a threat later in the future, but currently still running 1, and you can still tuck this under Chaos X to give Chaos X the DP- protection too. The third level 6 I'm running in this deck is the EX3 Chaosdramon. This is still a very good card in the deck. The fact it can just Digivolves for 1 cost over Machinedramon, then tuck 3 sources underneath and then D-Digivolve 3. D-Digivolve is still one of the strongest forms of removal in the game, and just having this in the deck lets you just retuck sources underneath if you happen to lose them before with Machinedramon. So currently this is a 2-of in the deck. The last level 6 I am running in this deck is Chaosdramon X. This card just got more powerful with the new Machinedramon because it gains the effect of all Machinedramon and Chaosdramon in the sack. So it gains the effect of the new Machinedramon to tuck a source underneath and gain the on play, as well as if you have Chaosdramon underneath, tuck 3 sources and D-Digivolve. It also has a very handy when it would be deleted to trash your opponent's top security, which can help whittle down your opponent's security if they're being stubborn. But overall, this is still just a very good card in the deck and just became more powerful with the new support. So for that, I'm running 2-of in the deck. So moving on to the level 5s, which I will be doing in batches. The first batch will be the first set of DM cards we got in EX09, starting off with Metal Greymon. Not only does this give the deck Sec +1, but also lets you delete 2 bodies with 3000 DP or more, which can increase depending on the number of face down cards you have underneath. The second card is Metal Mame, which lets you bounce something. So this is your out to Medieval Gallant, which slows the deck down because they force you to suspend. But if you tuck this underneath with the new Machinedramon's effect, you can bounce Medieval back before it becomes a problem. It also has the ability to trash sources, which is very nice for Machine, so you can trash troublesome sources your opponents have. If they have an ace, you can get the ace overflow too. As well, it's got the inherited end of turn unsuspend, which prevents your opponent just swinging into you when you're suspended. The third DM cyborg of this set is the new Andromon, which DP minuses, which is very interesting for the deck, having aspects of yellow for Machinedramon. It's very nice. It also has inherited blocker, which is also good. And the last one from the first batch is EX9 Metal Tyranno, which is a D-Digivolve on pop. This is just the first batch of D-Digivolve that the deck has access to, but D-Digivolve is always nice, and it also has piercing, so you can just swing through your opponent's blockers if they have any and still hit security. So, moving on to the main cyborg of the deck, which is the new EX9 Megadramon. This Megadramon enables the whole strategy basically. Giving Machinedramon unsuspend was sort of what the deck really needed. And not only does this Megadramon pop bodies too, but end of attack lets you delete a body on board and unsuspend. What this also enables is a potential OTK with the deck. So you assemble with Machinedramon, with the EX9 Machinedramon, put this at the bottom stack, swing, then delete the stack, and then trash this source to protect it, and then you digivolve into Chaosdramon and then tuck this source back in underneath, and then do it again, and then again with Chaos X, and just by recycling this Megadramon again and again, you can potentially OTK with the deck. So for now, I'm currently running this Megadramon at 2 for the deck. Yes. So moving on to the last DM level 5 I'm running in the deck. So one of the main weaknesses of Machinedramon is the Digivolve, and this next card protects you against that, and that is the new BT22 Datamon. BT22 Datamon, when tucked underneath, gives your Machinedramon Digi protection, as well as gives you a nice DP buff if you have any face down sources in the stack. It also has a good end of opponent's turn, force one of your opponent's Digimon to attack. This can get rid of any blockers that your opponent may have or any potential aces that they're trying to set up. The only downside of this card is that it's not a cyborg, but it's instead a machine, therefore you can't use it for assembly. The next level 5 cyborg I'll be talking about is a cyborg that the new EX9 Machinedramon can just abuse, and that is the BT7 Metal Greymon. Yes, I know this card is old, but its on-play is just very good for the deck. So if you have a Tamer set up, you instantly gain back 2 memory. So if you have Analog Man ready, that's just a free 2 memory gain. So with EX9 Machinedramon, when you reduce the play cost by 6, you played Machinedramon for 6, you tuck this underneath and gain 2 memory back, so you're effectively playing Machinedramon only for 4 play cost, and this can be further reduced with the Tamer, which I'll be talking about later. It also has a good inherited as well. When one of your opponent's Digimon is deleted, it gains 1 memory, which again can make you play Machinedramon for 3 play cost instead. So for that reason, I'm currently running 2 of in the deck, just cause of the memory gain. So the next batch of level 5s I'll be talking about are 2 boxy cards which really help the deck and help you deal with current problems. The first one is BT15 Megadramon, which has a good on-play where you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, lets you tuck under 1 machine or cyborg and lets you add another machine to hand. But what you really want this for is the when attacking Digivolve 1, which is very good to deal with potential aces, and so you don't have to worry about ace plays. The second toolbox card is the BT9 Megadramon, which you only play for the inherited, which is Tamer Hate, and I love my Tamer Hate. Deleting 3 cost Tamers is very nice with this deck unless you control the board too. It's only one of this Megadramon too. The third 2 boxy card is the last unsuspend of the deck, the limited Macgalgamon. Again, this is quite late game, but just another unsuspend for the deck, so you can just continue to be aggressive, and potentially OTK is what this Macgalgamon achieves. With my old Machinedramon build, I used to run 2 of these Megadramons, but due to the new Machinedramon only having assembly, which requires different cyborg names, just to increase consistency, I'm only running 1 of each Megadramon, since you're already running 2 of the EX9 Megadramon as well. The next card I'm going to talk about is BT20 Oblivimon. Before I was only running this at 1, but now with the current meta and the amount of decks that can just spam blockers, such as Adventure with the Izzy and Tai Tamer, as well as Kaguya, just making everything blocker, and then redirects with Magnamon if Magnamon ever comes back, or Omni-X as well. This Oblivimon has helped me out a lot just because it just prevents my opponent from blocking my attacks. Before I was running this at 1, but now seeing how good it is, I'm now currently running it at 2 just because it just helps you OTK more as well. The next two cards are just cards that give you Sec +1. I just chose them just because of personal favorites. The first one is Volcanomon, the OG cyborg I used to use in my deck, so I'm glad I can reuse this in my deck for the Sec +1. And the second one is Rise Greymon, just again for you're never going to Digivolve to play out the Tamer, but you're just having a Sec +1 again, just helps you with the aggressive play. So running 2 Sec +1. So with the EX9 Metal Greymon, in total you would have 3 Sec +1 effects too, which is also good for decks that do Sec -1 as well, which Puppets can do with the promo Shumon. So the last batch of level 5s I'll be talking about mainly only have one purpose, which is to give Machinedramon a huge DP boost, just so that it doesn't die in security to big bodies such as in Royal Knights or even Demon Lords. The first one is the new Metal Greymon Alteris mode. This gives Machinedramon plus 4000 DP, which is crazy big, and it also has a good on-play effect as well, which can be used by Machinedramon to delete something that has 8000 DP or less, which usually gets rid of most level 5s. The next two cyborgs are the hybrids we got in BT18, which are Daipen and Jet Sylphie. So they're all turns plus 2000 DP, which means even on your opponent's turn they need to try and get bigger than Machinedramon as well. So Daipen gives you plus 2000, and so does Jet Sylphie, gives you plus 2000. And if this is under Chaosdramon X stack, that means we're both underneath, Chaos X can get up to 17k DP as well. So I run no level 4s in this deck, so we'll next move straight on to the level 3s. So for this deck I am running the Uko package. I know people hate this, but the package just helps Machine out a lot. So starting off, you run out 4 of the BT16 Ukomon, which is a 1-cost Evo. Lets you search when it gets promoted and just lets you grab any piece you need. If it stays on board and you just raise another rookie, it just gives you free advantage. Usually with Ukomon, I keep it on board if I know my opponent is playing a deletion-based strategy. So I just wait for my opponent to delete it, which then helps with the egg, which I'll show you later. But if it's a deck that I know that bounces or strips sources, I'll just risk the swing and hope it dies in security, and hopefully doesn't give my opponent the advantage. So for this deck, I'm running 4 of the BT16 Ukomon. The next rookie I run is the promo Ukomon, which again is another point of controversy since it's a limited card. It means that when people see it, eyes do roll, but the memory gain is nice sometimes, but my main usage for it is just to get you that extra egg in raising, and therefore only one promo Ukomon. And then the last rookie I'm running currently is Phascomon from BT13. This Phascomon is very good because on deletion, draw 1, trash 1, which not only helps you draw, but then also sets up your trash with cyborgs, which is very good. Well, that's 1000 DP, which means it most likely would die to anything in security, so pretty much almost guarantees the deletion unless you run into an option card or Tamer. So for that reason, I'm currently running 4 of this Phascomon. So, moving on to Tamers, of course, the first Tamer that I'm using is the BT11 Analog Man. This Tamer is still very relevant to the deck. Draw 1, trash 1, as well as redirects. This Tamer is still just very good for free advantage and also slowing your opponent down by forcing them to face Machinedramon head on. The second Tamer I'm running is the new EX9 Analog Man, which is a memory setter, which is very good for the deck, so now you can't be memory choked even if your opponent tried. This has a very good whenever your level 5 or higher cyborgs or machine can be played, you draw 1, gain 1 memory, and then put 1 card face down. So this paired with the new Machinedramon and the BT7 Metal Greymon, you reduce the play cost by 6 with EX9 Machinedramon. Gain 2 memory back, so that's 4 memory, and then gain 1 memory back from this, so you basically play Machinedramon for 3 play cost and still maintain turns since you also have the mem setter. Currently I'm only running this at 2 since you don't want to see it a lot, but it's very nice to have regardless. the last tamer for the deck is Analog Youth. This is a card I did not run in my old Machinedramon build, but since the new Machinedramon can only assemble from trash, you want to set up your trash as quickly as possible, and this card basically just searches and sets up your trash for 2 memory only. Its second effect on deletion, gain 1 memory back, can come in handy since all of your DM cyborgs put cards underneath face down for a reduced play cost, but I never use it really for that reason. I just use it for the search and setting up trash. So currently running 2 Analog Youths. So the last card for the main deck is the option card from BT9, which is Attack of the Heavy Mobile. This card, what is there not to say about this card? This is what an updated option card should be, which has 2 purposes. One as a sec bomb, and the second, which is the one that enables the strategy, which gives all your Machinedramon, Chaosdramon, Rush, and Blitz when you play them. The only downside is, which is again controversy, that is a 0 cost, but you are trashing a cyborg from hand for the cost, so maybe it balances out. But this is basically lets you come out from nowhere. You could be falling behind, but then you play this, play out Machinedramon, and if you play your cards correctly, you can just go for the swing on the same turn and deal with your opponents. The fact that it also acts as a very good sec bomb when sec bombs have been sort of crept out of the meta due to the high play cost, it's just very nice. And for that reason, I just want to see this as much as possible, because without it, I can't go on the offensive. Because I'm not digivolving up a stack, I am hard playing. So without this, I can't do my aggressive plays. So for that, I am running 4 of the Attack of the Heavy Mobile for the deck. So the last card I'll be talking today is the egg for the deck, which is the Demi Mirror from BT15, which is on deletion by trashing 1 level 5 or higher Digimon card in your hand, draw 2. Not only does this set up your trash, but it gives you draw 2 Pot of Greed, which is just very good for the deck. If Machinedramon ever reached broken status, I think this would be the card you would hit, just for the amount of advantage it gives. But fortunately for me, only Machinedramon can abuse this card, so I don't see this getting hit anytime in the future. So I'm running 4 of this Demi Mirror egg. So this is my current deck list for Machinedramon. I am very happy with where the deck is going. It feels strong but doesn't feel too broken. And of course you're going to brick whenever you play Machinedramon. You expect to brick. That's part of the fun of playing Machinedramon. When you brick, you just laugh and just say, oh well. But currently Machinedramon is in a very good place right now, and I'm always hoping for future support, future cyborgs which I can include in my toolbox. This is my very first deck list and video for Digimon that I'm going to be posting on my channel, and thank you all for listening and getting to the end of the video, and any feedback would be very helpful moving forward. From now on, I will be trying to be more consistent and post deck lists of decks I've tried and tested. Thank you all for listening, and starting off will be the sorry, let me start that one again. So starting off sorry. Okay, I think the next batch will be Toolbox E. Might just go on for a bit.